Climbing for me is a lifestyle. I eat, think, live, breathe climbing. I mean, every day I wake, I think about climbing. I like to try to climb as much as I can. It's really about how much my body can take. Some people climb every day. I can't do that personally because I don't think I can rebuild that fast. But I think I try to go probably at least 4 times a week, sometimes 5 or 6. So I guess I started a couple years ago. My brother got me into the sport, and from there I just kind of took it my own path. His friends really pushed me into it, and they really supported me when I was getting started, and that's pretty much how I got into it. Why rock climbing? That's a hard question to answer because it just started out as something fun to do, and the more I did it, the more I found reasons to keep doing it. It was at first just kind of a way to pass the time and entertain myself, and then it became, a good physical activity, and then after that it became an adventure. And the more I got into it, the more I realized that this sport is incredibly deep. There's so many things that you can do with it. There's so many places you can take it. You can travel with it. You can go to another country. You can, explore areas around your own home that you never knew existed. I mean, it starts with just a little bit of fun, and then it becomes a journey. And I mean, really, it's about discovery more than anything else. And I think that's really why I'm really into it. So there are a lot of different types of styles for climbers. Everyone has his own approach. Some people like to be more dynamic and gymnastic with their climbing. They like to test themselves with how strong they can climb something. Other people like to make it look smooth and effortless and really control their movements. Bouldering is probably my favorite style of climbing. Bouldering is typically really short, really hard, difficult physical problems. They generally take a lot of technique. They generally require a lot of time to figure out and to perfect the movements. Bouldering is basically climbing without ropes, climbing up to maybe 15 to 25 feet. It's probably about as high as most people go. Sport climbing is a lot of fun. Sport climbing is generally based on gear. You'll have 2 people, one person belaying, one person climbing. And the person climbing in the typical sport climb is clipping in the rope as they go up. It's generally more of an endurance test. Chalk, I think, confuses a lot of people because it seems kind of ridiculous and people think that you have it just for fun. But there are a lot of times where you really do need that chalk because it comes down to friction sometimes. There are climbs that you can do within a certain amount of reason that are so close to your physical limit, and they're so close to impossible for you that you need that little extra bit of chalk. If your hands grease up and you grease up a hold, you're going to fall off. If that chalk really is all that holds you on sometimes. My own personal favorite place to climb has to be Donner Summit, just because it's the first place that I really got into climbing. Donner Summit is just more or less because my brother lives up there and all my friends are up there, and so those are my favorite sessions just because it's not just about the climbing, it's also about hanging out and having a good time. My personal favorite climbers, my #1 favorite climber right now has to be Fred Nicole. He's a really old guy, he's still pushing the sport. At the same time, he's also kind of getting at the end of his career, but it's still really impressive, the things that he can do. But I think what is really the most impressive about him is his overall outlook on the sport and his ability to control his climbing. I think is probably the reason why he's my favorite climber.
Controlled, I think, is the term. Everybody got his own style, and there are some new style coming, like very dynamic and so. But I think you can be very controlled and be fast too, and I think this is the way. I like to feel that I control my climbing, yeah, that I can master it.
The mental aspect is one of the biggest parts of the sport. This sport is incredibly deep. There's so many things that you can do with it. It's about discovery more than anything else, and I think that's really why I'm really into it.